One of the things that came to my mind when I was studying Web3 and blockchains, existing blockchains, was how most of the blockchains layer 1 that were built initially were designed and built trying to satisfy different needs than what they had to satisfy today. So what happened is that, for example, they could process just a very limited amount of transactions per second. And the majority of them, they had to change to try to offer a better throughput. So what happened is that they had to refactor their code, refactor their fees, etc., etc. Some became too expensive. Some trying to become more sustainable environmentally, moved from proof of work to proof of stake. But now the proof of stake is creating centralization from a financial standpoint. And if they needed to go faster, they pumped up a little bit the minimum requirements for a node hardware to run. And now they created hardware centralization. So only certain type of hardware can really run a node. So now you have a lot of different contributions that work against the blockchain as a Web3 network, but is really trying to make the blockchain something for less people. So you need to have stakes that you need to hold, and you need to have better machines and so on. So my biggest question at the time was, how can I make these really decentralized, and making sure that nothing of the components that I build in this ecosystem can really push toward the centralization. So what I did is that, first of all, one of the requirements is that the minimum platform to run a node is today a Raspberry Pi, and has to stay that way. So the Raspberry Pi in the latest version that will be currently released every year will become essentially the minimum hardware requirement. In terms of staking, we don't require slashing of stakes for nodes to be compliant and work well. We use a different consensus mechanism, which is called proof of reputation, which is penalizing the node that is not behaving correctly on the future earnings of the node. So essentially there is an index that goes between 0 and 1, which is the reputation index. When you have maximum reputation, the number is 1. If you lose a bit of reputation, for example, you go to 0.5. So what happens is that we multiply the revenues, the fees that are paid to the node for that index. So if you multiply by 1, you get the whole fee. If you multiply by 0.5, you get half of that fee. So I didn't penalize the node on money that they needed to immobilize, on coins that they needed to immobilize. I penalize on the money that they will eventually make in the future. And also because I don't think that the stake really makes sense, because if I have to have like $30,000 in coin stock somewhere, but I steal $2 million, it's really not a very big deterrent. So at that point is mostly a deterrent to make sure that you want to keep your node in a good working order, in working conditions, so that it's going to perform at the very best. So the way to do that is to make sure that if it's not well kept, it's not up to date, it's going to earn less money. So all you need to do is give a little bit of attention to what you're doing, which I think is a fair thing to do. And for the other things, token holders, coin holders can participate to the governance of the ecosystem, and there will be the forms that will be published on our website to participate to governance through voting for different issues. There will be the possibility to propose new issues and propose new improvements for the system. We are really trying to get the best from what was done before and integrate with the best that can come today, and try to build a real fair and decentralized by design ecosystem. In terms of network, better to tell you, right now we are not decentralized. We are going there. We are, releasing nodes, but we have to release nodes in a sustainable way to avoid 51% attacks. Because if I have only 100 nodes, anyone can spend like $5,000 and buy another 50, 60 nodes, whatever, and try to compete with us. So we have to grow organically, we have to grow safely, And this is in respect to all the people that are going to be working on our network. So decentralization is a process. So we're not going to claim we are decentralized when we are not. We're going to tell you that we are built in accordance with the decentralization criteria, and we are heading toward a full decentralization, but that is a process that will take a little bit of time.